Heyo, it's Nito, and with me as always is
Carson.
And Evan.
we're the BanchoBoys, and welcome to Mon-Talk. So the one thing that's on everyone's mind right now is Blue Hybrid. Blue Hybrid dominated at Digi-fest Texas, with almost all of the top 16 being Blue Hybrid, except for an X antibody and a Yellow Hybrid. What are your guys'
I
thoughts?
think there's also a Lilith loop in there.
There was a little loop.
But either way, they still were all top 8, which is just insane.
Evan bringing up Lilith Loop.
I gotta get my 2 cents Lilith loop in there. We can't not talk about Lilith loop. But no, yeah, it's honestly I was trash talking it. On the first podcast, I thought it was garbage. So yellow was garbage. But the original build they had in Japan, I think those versions are what I was more referring to. With the new builds, they're more low to the ground. At least the blue is. It's kind of like a rush sort of thing that just like super hyper control at the same time. It's got a lot of success. Especially, I think its only hard matchups are the blue mirror match. Just because you just have to get more tamers in the field and just freeze their stuff more, and then yellow, of course, because they just have so much control. We were just doing a little bit of play testing before the video, and I was getting my cheeks clapped by Carson.
Something I definitely would agree on is that we definitely undersold it at the beginning, because of how weak Magna Garurumon is compared to like Emperor Greymon or Shine Greymon for Yellow Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So we undersold it because of its Mega, but apparently all the deck needed was to just not use its Mega.
Not use any Megas except for Zulongmon, just to finish games, and then just Tommy, Korikaku, Beowulf, bounce, the whole thing. Clearing a board of 4 Digimon for 3 memory. Insane. Like that's like a thing that like they do like pretty easily.
That's just pure value right there.
Yeah, like so for example, I'm just gonna go over some hypotheticals, but like you have Tommy on field, you Korikakumon freeze one thing. Did you have Beowulfmon for 1? Swing with Beowulfmon. Bounce something.
And you can into something. You can swing into
exactly,
something,
yeah.
bounce and freeze another 2. Being able to answer 4 to 5 threats on 3 memory is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is definitely It definitely just reminds me of how thankful I am that Ice Wall is a 1-of now, because having to deal with that and a playset of Ice Walls would be truly miserable.
Not even fair, honestly. It's just so much stalling. The game goes on for so much longer than you would expect it to go on for. Just because like the aggro decks Commandramon, it's like not even a fair fight. Especially if you're running like the purple package. There was a game that I was playing at one of our locals. And they had an insane turn 1. I promoted I digivolved I went first digivolving Rookie in the Hatchery, playing out of Davis, sending them at 4. They had a Commandramon, played a Icemon scatter mode, having 2 Icemons in hand, and they played another Rookie. And then went to my turn. I froze the scatter mode with the Korikakumon, and then I bounced the other Rookie to hand, getting the Korikakumon back in my hand, and checking security. It's and they just weren't able to swing. They had 5 Digimon on the board at all times. I was able to either bounce or freeze throughout the entire game. It's just like the aggro decks have no chance against the blue matchup. It seems.
One of the things that is like especially nice about Blue Hybrid is your ability to consistently recycle your Korikakumons and Kumamons.
Mm-hmm.
Is I think what makes the deck so strong is the fact that Beowulf. You would think of it as almost a deterrent of Beowulf putting one of your cards back in hand to bounce something, but it's so strong just because it allows you to consistently use your Korikaku and Kumas to strip and freeze. That's truly what makes like the deck so strong, and that's just with any deck is if you can guarantee consistency and you can guarantee like frequently being able to freeze stuff, that's what's gonna help when you win events. And as we saw at Digi-fest, that's exactly what they were doing. And it is cool to see a Zulongmon finally get play, because it did not see play in BT6 when it seemed like the perfect counterpart to Hexalao, but Hexalao just wasn't strong enough as comparison to Gabubond. So it is cool to finally see a card like a Zulongmon see play, and it fits so well in that deck. Like if you have 3 or 4 of your opponent's Digimon frozen on board, being able to go into a Zulong for little to nothing and check multiple security is just absolutely crazy. And yeah, as we can see here, we have the deck list for the Arlington Digi-fest, and the first, second, and third are all Blue Hybrid, with a 4th of Lilithmon.
Oh, okay. Hey, Lilithmon. Can't forget Lilithmon.
It still makes it up there.
In work,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Even though I disowned it, it's got
See,
a spot back in my heart.
Yeah. You could definitely like high roll. I think it's like most because since we have to keep in mind in this event for most Digi-fest is that the modified ruling does make it like have like the mulligan and sideboarding.
True.
So we don't really have like that same like us playing at locals having the mulligan sideboarding constantly, but them having this ability shows like a lot of decks now have a lot of potential just playing like at a higher level, having the sideboarding and the mulligan. So making some decks that were like kind of like relevant because they just high rolled really hard, right?
So like Lilith Loop really does, I think, utilizes the sideboard the best out of any deck in the format currently because there's so many slots you can just recycle out.
Yeah.
For whatever you want essentially. Like your level 5, some of your options, some of your rookies even. There's just so much you can do with it.
And how something I'm even seeing players doing is playing game 1 as Lilithmon, and if they take game 1. Knowing that with the sideboard rules, if they take game 1, knowing that your opponent is going to side in a lot of like anti-memory gain and stuff to choke Lilithmon, I've seen purple players abuse the sideboard by just swapping in an entire Titamon package and completely swapping out their top end. So like because of how similar the decks are, simply changing their deck from Lilithmon, which is a like mid-rangey combo deck, to Titamon and just playing super aggressive. Is just hilarious to me is the idea of like sideboarding to deal with Lilithmon and then surprise you're playing Titamon.
Yeah, for sure.
Another card that we got to see at Digi-fest that was surprisingly well used was Mimi Tachikawa, the purple one from BT3.
Yeah, I think it was used in 2 out of the 3 of the blue deck sideboards, which is honestly an interesting take because I totally understand. It stops their Hammer Spark, makes their Ice Walls cost 2. Makes your Hammer Sparks gain you 2. It's really super strong. It's super strong against the mirror match. And I think even the Lilith Loop were they playing the one as well? No, I don't think so. They're just running the
in their sideboard.
Avenge Kidmon in the sideboard. Ultimate sideboard piece.
Really
Starmon, get out of my face. I don't need to see you.
Yeah, that deck will be dead the moment that card comes out.
That deck is dead.
Yeah.
Deck is dead because of Avenge Kidmon, because of sideboards with Avenge Kidmon in it, and because of the new what is it, the stacks rookie that they're having that you can't reduce the play cost of Digimon. So brutal. It's just ridiculous. Not even fair. But it looks like yeah, I was completely wrong. Blue, insane. Blue is blowing up Digi-fest. It's doing work at I believe it's doing work in Worlds as well.
A lot of players are bringing blue to, like different variations. They either bring like the Gabubon with the hybrid blue, pure blue, just like the mid range like blue hybrid. Like they don't have much of a level 6 besides the Zulong, or they play with the Magnus and having Koji in there. So those are like the most like the 3 more like known variations of those decks that we can see.
Yeah, and
continue. Yeah. Because like so I was saying like because like overall like the top like 4 lists that we have going on here, it's like primarily blue. Sure, it's pretty like it kind of sucks. So I can say for example we already knew the top 16 for Arlington. The toppings were like 8 players were all blue hybrid players that were top 16. So and the rest were just like mostly the rogue decks or like yellows and purple, and actually for fifth place that we had for Arlington, Texas was the X Antibody deck. That had a most likely high rolled like crazy because mulliganing and sideboarding that they had option wise was most likely insane for them.
The mulligan for these high roll decks like Jespon and X Antibody really help with the consistency of it, which is like the main issue of those decks. Because like if you get Jespon out, get it out fast, you're gonna win. You are going to kill them in 1 turn, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's just like so fast.
That's one of the things is as a Jessmon player I'm really excited about with the sideboard and mulligan rule is it does make combo decks stronger. Granted, you are bottoming 5 cards, so if you have a hand of just save your Huckmons, you might be less apt to bottom it. But if you can mulligan into a better hand, then you do have your chance of getting your lineup as quick as possible and blowing out the game.
Yeah, like so like that was a 5th place list. Like I feel like Mulligan is still in the weird spot for me. Like it could be like really good or really bad in some situations. I feel like still most of the players that are playing either like they tested it, still like are in the weird middle of like, do I like the Mulligan or do I not like the Mulligan, or do I just want to play through it because I'm so used to it kind of deal. With most of these players that are practicing it. I can go through like the rest of the list that we had for Arlington's.
We can actually I think we should put out on the screen.
Yeah. So we have so like for first place, like what we said, the first to third was all the blue hybrid list. Fourth was the Lilith loop. 5th place was the X antibody list that ran a lot of Zubagun punch to make blockers, so it could just block a lot of things.
Sure, and check more security as well.
And check more securities because of just like the Metal Greymon and also just the card itself. Making 13k is very easy to hit on that list with Doru Goromon.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, and then after that we have for 6th place it's going to be the yellow hybrid list running Kazuchimon and Dynasmon, but not too many Dynas. And the 2 Susanos, like the same like basic list, like purple bottom end with Schwartz and the Karis is like the tech option, right?
And the Dynaspawn is super hard to deal with against blue, which is what makes that deck the hardest one of its hardest matchups, because at least without the Magnum Grimon, you have no real way of removing it except for Absolute Blast. And that's
Cocutus Breath.
Yeah.
But Cocutus Breath, I feel like we're getting to the point now where cards like Cocutus Breath are getting.
I don't think was it
too expensive of a card just to bounce to hand.
Yeah, I don't think it was ran in any of the
sideboards. No
sideboards or top decks.
I just see
Absolute Blast
because it's so easy. Everything can be trash already.
You're trashing it, so there's no need to bounce it to hand when you can just like.
And also
put to the bottom of the
deck.
deck.
Yeah. That's the main thing why people like Absolute Blast is that it does bot deck instead of putting back at the hand. Which if you throw away a key piece in their hand, like let's say Susanomon for example, you'd be like, oh, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah.
Just replay it again, kind of deal. So those things are like, that's why it makes it blue. Like it basically just like stalls out blue enough that it throws, if they see a chance to like throw away the Korkakus or the Beowulfs or the Tommies, they'll just do it, and then if it just bounced, like it's whatever. Because if they have Susano, they'll just refill their whole thing, right? The last lists were for 7 and 8 were again 2 blue lists to finish off for top 8.
And they aren't running. One isn't running any megas, and then the other one is running the Azulangmon with Susanomons in it.
Out of all the blue hybrids list, one of them was running Magna Garurumon. So you can just see that most players are leaning away from Magna simply because of how negative it feels Magna plays compared to the other megas like Azulong.
So that's for Arlington. If we wanted to like skim, if you guys wanted to know about like EU's thing or whatever, don't be surprised. Who topped in EU? It was green red hybrid. That top for EU.
Don't be surprised. You said that.
Don't be surprised.
Very surprising.
No, I'm kidding. No, it is surprising, but it's not also because like the reason being why I think this deck is doing better is because Mulligan and sideboarding. Because this thing with sideboarding is way better.
What was the sideboard?
Sideboard being that it had the level 6 Argomon tapping all the Tamers, and if they don't have removal in game 1, then it's over because it's just it's stuck on and Ancient Troy staying on the board. Argo's tapping all the Tamers so that they can't swing. Susano's there just if they're playing against yellow matchup. Removal. Yeah, more removal too. And the Izzy Mimi, I'm assuming is just like a tech option if they can't get into a level 6, so they're just gotching their chance out of it.
One of the crazy cards to see in that deck though is Atomic Inferno. Atomic Infernoing your Rhino Kabucharimon, and then swinging into your ancient and swinging in and warping into your ancient beetle means you get to trash the top security and then check 2.
Yeah, if you have JP on the bottom,
as you're passing, so it's almost like blitz. That's what red hybrid really uses red for, is to be able to abuse Atomic Inferno with your ancient Beetlemon and ancient Troymon.
Plus the green top end is just like atrocious. It's like
the green bottom.
Yeah.
Green bottoms. Yeah, like the Betamon that we got doesn't do much. It's really bad. Only grabs a level 4 green. It's so mid. Not even mid. It's just bad.
No, it's just terrible.
It's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, so you get the Flamemon that search for the hybrids, which is a better job at searching the hybrids. You get the Gaussmon to stop the mirror match.
And reduce.
Beowulfmon, Jet Sophimon, Aldemon if you're like really unlucky. And then the Guillemon just to add more consistency.
Just to draw more.
Draw more, check more, put the more pressure on. And then you're also still have like some decent removal of Atomic Blaster, which just destroys rookie boards, gets rid of Kumamon, gets rid of Bokomons for days. Beowulfmon, Beowulfmon. And then you've got the obviously insane hidden potential discovery, which is always going to be included in every green deck.
But if you did notice, they don't run any other level 5 besides Rhino, just for
No,
consistency's sake.
They don't need to.
Yeah, because they're only hitting it for consistency, so they can keep finding it. Because if you have any like Blossomon or the Argomon, it just breaks consistency of trying to find things you need with like Boko or your Flamemon, and also your Beetlomon too.
Wow, that took first. That's insane.
Yeah, second place was, again, it's blue, and it's actually the Magna version for this one
It is
too.
the Magna, but they're not running any Kojis.
We're running no Kojis,
No,
which is very interesting.
Kojis.
And also not even in their sideboard. They're running actually Melga from EX.
Ooh, EX Melgarurumon.
Yeah.
What is for Cherubimon matchups?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Destroying Cherubimon's day.
Yeah. So if you like notice, like it's insane how far people are putting sideboarding in, cause like you wouldn't see this card ever normally until you get that matchup, and you're like, I'm gonna sideboard this shit,
That
and that's
card
insane.
is so good with matchups. And then again with the
third place with Lilithmon.
Lilithmon putting in the work.
With a tech of Mastamon.
Mastamon, pretty good. Yeah, I do like Mastamon.
I love to see that Mastamon, a random SR from BT4, has like been consistently played every set since the card was released.
As a tech option all the time.
Purely just because of the fact that it's a 2-color.
It's a good card.
It trashes security. It plays a level 4.
Yeah.
A level 4 purple or yellow.
And same with the Texas Digi-fest. The Lilith deck is not running really any Lady Devimons. They're just running Cerberusmon and Cerberusmon Werewolf modes. Because again, more draw, more trashing, and the Cerberusmon coupled with the Dead or Alive just adds insane value.
I still can't believe that's
super
how that
aggression.
works.
Isn't that wild? It's actually wild because you just play Dead or Alive and get to gain 1 memory off of it if Cerberusmon is out there on the board.
Mm-hmm. Or
so
if Cerberusmon's out there on the board and they
and
check Dead or Alive in security, you pop your Cerberusmon and
gain memory and pass turn. Isn't that crazy?
And it's not just like gain 2. It's not gain 1 or 2. It's gaining 9.
Gaining
You're
9.
putting yourself at a huge advantage.
So Gazion is really good against this matchup.
Yeah.
Any memory deniers are super good against this matchup.
Memory deniers and memory reducers, especially for your hybrid matchups, just being able to deny your opponent that extra efficiency they get to use with their tamers is like super important. Which is why you're seeing more. You're seeing more and more blue hybrid lists run for Siako and for Madoki
or Trident. And they're running was it Trident Revolver or
Forbidden Trident.
Forbidden Trident. Mm-hmm. Just so that you can get into your Beowulfmon or gain that memory, and then also gain an extra 2k boost to possibly survive in security against their mirror match. Forbidden Trident being a super helpful card. Just in general, with how many of the memory deniers and reducer deniers there are in this format as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely like as a big surprise from the Digi-fest is blue is still good.
Of course.
Funny thing is blue's consistently been like a one of the like second best or third best decks in the format.
Top decks in the format for sure.
It's blue's always been top, but it's always been like other like
at least since set 6.
Since that 6, but it was top during BT 1.0 1.5.
True blue
Omnimon.
Omnivore, what a throwback!
Throwback into like there's only like 2 top decks being like red Omni and blue Omni. That was the only top decks.
That is so
which is so funny.
What I was gonna say was blue's always been like kind of held that second place spot firmly until we hit BT 6, where blue has now pushed past that and simply just dominated from BT 6 on.
Yeah.
So
even after being hit so hard with the banning and limiting.
With the banning of MDF and limiting of Ice Wall, even then we still see blue dominating just because of how I think what it is simply is just it's blue is better card draw than most other decks, and blue has and consistency is what's going to win you games.
Yeah.
And then better memory manipulation. Hammer Spark is still played to this day.
Yes.
Because
it's so free.
as a consistent 0 memory gain 1 or gain 2 checked in security.
Like an like contested gain 1 memory. You have to all you have to do blue. Something blue on the field in the hatchery.
Done. Ready to go.
Get that memory for you.
Exactly.
As opposed to Jackery, you need 10 trash. Blinding Ray, you need trash security, which is kind of rough, but
yeah. But like I wanted to mention like some of the cool things like with how Digi-fest is going. We watched at a card shop, we watched one of the Digi-fest masters showing like how important, how insane to have sideboarding in this format. Let's say for example, blue versus yellow. We watch a blue versus yellow matchup, and for example, this guy Digivolve into Seraphimon. Seraphimon then gets his healing, and then he gets stripped and gets frozen. He's like, crap, can't do much with this. And that is with how most blue matchups are. Your stuff is just gonna go stuck, and you have nothing to do, right? I was like, oh man, that completely blows, and that sucks, right? But in his sideboard, or I don't know if it was in his sideboard or just in his deck, he did have Tactical Retreat in his deck. Tactical Retreat in the Seraphimon as a side deck, which was insane to see, because I was like, oh my gosh, that does work, and that's insane.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Recovering too.
You're recovering for 1, and after that, turning off Sora and Joe's because there's nothing on board for their next turn, and then you can just build up to catch up again. Yeah. Which was like, I was like, oh my god, that's insane. I didn't even think about that.
It's cool to see old cards that might have gotten looked over a couple of sets ago be brought to life again as we get further and further into these big tournaments.
New formats.
So the farther the game keeps progressing and the more card pool that we have, we're gonna get to the point where like we have to go far back and see like these weird ass interactions that can work against these really hard matches for yourself. So that's why I'm excited to see the modified ruling happen. And on speaking of modified ruling, we could talk about Ultimate Cup that's coming up this month.
That just got announced.
It just got announced. Yes.
Definitely something that all three of us will be playing in as many of the Ultimate Cups as possible.
All of them.
Because the price not only do we like playing in these big online events, but the pricing for these events is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
The entire VMon line is full art alternates. And they're not just random ones. We have the Demi Vmon, which is the most consistent.
Jamming Demi Vmon.
The Jamming Demi Vmon, which is the most consistent.
We're gonna put these on the screen as they go, so you can see them.
And just again, beautiful artwork done. The Demi Vmon being the one that draws you a card when you swing with your
the best
Jamming Vmon, which is the top 128 prize. And again, Jamming Vmon already have gotten a alter art with the year 1 anniversary promos, but having another phenomenal artwork with these. The only card in this list that actually isn't played, which I find funny, is the XVmon.
What are you talking about?
Not many decks are actually playing this XVmon because it is the
jamming, the X one.
It's the one with
they
jamming.
Totally are playing this jamming the X one.
Well, and I was assuming they're only playing it in just Imperial Dramon because it's Imperial. But right now in this set, it's just like in this format, they're not gonna be seen.
In set 7,
it's not being
used.
But
in
previous
the next set, it's so.
I would say it is one of the least played out of all these cards.
Yeah, because there are different XVmons later on that are gonna be, I would say, like better, because even the starter deck, the starter deck has one. So those are the two that are gonna be shown.
But this definitely, but obviously we will see this play.
Yeah.
And
either way,
we will see this used.
Cool card, cool art.
On a green.
Yeah, cool art, cool card, regardless. And going to
Pale Dramon.
The top 64 one.
I think so.
The Pale Dramon should be the top 32. Oh no, top 32.
XVmon is top 64.
Yeah, and Pile Dramon, the top 32. Starter deck Pile Dramon, the best Pile Dramon in existence. The Jawgress one, that unsuspends bot decks of 6k DP or less, and then unsuspends when attacking once per turn. Insane, absolutely insane.
It's really cool to see with these. Compared to the comparing these to like the TAK promos, where the only card out of those that's actually used is the Agumon on like rare occasions.
Yeah.
But like the Koromon, the Greymon, and the Wargreymon, aren't cards that see a lot of play.
The Koromon and the Greymon are going to be seeing play in the next set with the new.
That is true.
The Wargreymon though, it's the starter deck.
It's the starter deck one. So no one will use that one. It's cool, but no one will use it.
It's neat. But yeah, it's super cool looking. But these ones are all insanely playable.
Yeah.
Beautiful, phenomenal arts. And I think the next one,
and especially going into set 8, all of these cards are going to skyrocket in play.
Oh my gosh, they are literally all going to be played in the Pile Dramon deck, which is what this deck is. Just you're essentially making a Pile Dramon deck for the next set.
Going into the top 16 cards.
Top 8.
Is this
top 8?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's top 8 because I just looked at it. Top 8.
Top
Ooh.
8.
There's no top 16 rewards,
Ooh,
boys.
Top 8 being
So
the
you gotta make it there.
Imperial Dramon Fighter mode.
From set 8.
Yes.
And again, just gorgeous altar arts. We'll probably see these altar arts be played over the set altar arts because
Of course.
just one of the
Flex?
things I respect so much about Digimon is how much work they put into their altar arts. They
Or just their art in
they
general.
they truly
Shout out
like
Koki.
Shout out Koki.
Shout out Koki.
they truly
Best
like
artist in Digimon.
they truly care about their artwork, and it is super cool to see like just some like phenomenal artwork be put into these cards.
Okay, and then for second place, we got a rerun of the Omnimon from
Same-
Evo Cup.
Same art, different stamp.
Stamp, yes,
Doesn't
different
say
stamp.
Evo Cup, says Ultimate Cup.
Yes.
Totally fine. I love this art. It's a great art, and I think it's just gonna be like they're probably gonna use it for the next couple cups. I feel just because it's like so iconic.
It's iconic, yeah, exactly.
It's the Charizard of Digimon, you know.
Yeah, it's Omnimon.
And then first place, beautiful, phenomenal, Imperial Digimon Paladin. You're getting the whole line here.
The leader of
2 to 7.
the starter of the Royal Knights himself,
Yes.
with a just absolutely gorgeous artwork.
Only for first place.
Only for first place.
But first place also gets a booster box to go along
And-
with
and one of the
everything
Omnimons.
else.
Everything else.
First place will get an Omnimon, Imperial Mon Fighter mode, and a booster box. Because the Omnimon's top 2.
Omnimon top 2. So they'll actually be like every event we're gonna have. They're gonna be like 2 people that are gonna have that Omnimon.
So buy your tickets fast. These are going to be like high demand cards. These are going to be high demand events,
yes,
and
Yeah, we're
it
gonna get our
is
six,
going to be a
hopefully.
scrap fest.
exactly.
One big thing that is cool with this event is they are doing modified rules.
Yes.
They haven't announced what they are yet, but we can safely assume it's going to be either sideboard,
And Mulligan.
Or both.
or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
No, I feel like there's gonna be both for
Yeah,
sure.
I
Like,
think-
they saw how it performed at Digi-fest. It seems like super healthy for the game. Super like it makes the sets super dynamic because adding a sideboard just like adds so much variety to your decks.
Exactly.
And how far you can push it.
Not-
Mulligan also make those high roller decks like again super consistent and actually able to perform in this meta where it's just like you just need to get your lines.
So for example, like you can see, like I still say it to this day with most Digimon decks that top and win. Any color can win. Just depends on the day you're playing. You do
Depends
really
on your
good.
draws,
It's still a card game, regardless. At the end of the day, you could be really good because you're shuffling good, you're playing good, and everything's happening well.
Shuffling's good.
Right? What I'm saying anything works. This game is flexible. Anything can top if you put in the effort. And now that sideboarding and mulligan's there, any deck can really have that potential, and it just elevates it even more. So that's why this event is gonna be really really, really, really cool. And
Not to mention too, included in the pricing for this event are the event pack 2s.
Ooh,
event pack
Lovely
twos.
event pack
which are highly sought after right now.
of course.
Gotta get my Jessmon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I want Bushi's. I want Impmons for collection set too.
Yeah,
Same thing.
I want all of them. I just want everything. Because, like, in comparison, if we compare from the previous, Event Pack 1 to Event Pack 2, Event Pack 2's foiling and the effect on it,
Oh,
so much better
beautiful.
than Event Pack 1. It's crazy.
The borders are the same color, and it just makes it so unique. So what is it? Unified.
Yeah,
It's insane. But as Carson was saying, yeah, better to be lucky than good. Essentially,
exactly.
if you can get all your lines perfectly every game, you win. You'll
Yeah,
win the
you're
tournament,
insane.
You've done
Don't
it.
question it. Just play it.
You don't need to be good. You just need to have your shit work.
Yeah,
you know?
keep your eyes open for anything. Go on your Discords. Put some bookmarks, whatever. Keep your eyes open from April, July, and November of 2022, so you don't miss out on trying to get into Ultimate Cup.
Those are when the Ultimate Cups are being hosted.
Yeah, I will say for NA for this month of April, we'll have Core TCG and Carta Magica both on April 23rd to the April 24th, both separate events. Core TCG is on 23rd and Carta Magica is on 24th. So
at the time of recording this, the signups have not been
announced,
open
no.
or announced when they're gonna happen. They're just saying it's in the coming weeks. I'm assuming.
Yeah, of April. So
Of
most
April.
likely it's gonna be like a couple weeks before the beginning of
I would
April.
assume it's gonna be in
The first week.
Yeah, first or second week of April.
Yeah, so keep your eyes open for that, boys. And then next,
One thing I'd like to propose is the fact that because the April events will be still in BT7.
True. Thankfully.
What do you think is going to be played most at these events?
I think blue. I think yellow.
blue, yellow for sure.
I think there's always going to be Lilith Loop because there's always a Lilith Loop player.
Most people won't give up some decks, so Lilith Loop is still good.
Lilith
It's still
Loop is-
good. It's still very
good.
high
It's
rolling.
top in events. It's
Yeah.
still doing its thing. It's just gonna be the werewolf variation. You just gotta be able to stop.
With that
Stop
option card.
with Madoki Bedbomb. You gotta stop.
Yeah, be a prime for it.
Every time. And Another thing, there's a lot of interactions with Lilithloop that are super niche that you need to know when facing off against it.
Yeah.
As a Lilithloop player, I've cheated a lot, and now I know the rulings.
And now you got to make sure. Now,
Yeah.
when playing against someone that's playing Lilithloop, now you know you can't do that.
Yeah. So, for example, having a Lady Devimon underneath your Lilithmon, if there's a Madoka Betamon on the field, when you cast a option, you have to actually let it resolve first before you gain the memory and before you do the Lady Devimon effect. So by playing an option, you can't actually kill it and gain the memory, which is something that I lost to multiple times in my Lilithmon. When I was playing against Lilithmon in online regionals, because I didn't know that until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, till recently.
Very recently.
So
I definitely, because of how well Blue Hybrid played at the Digi-fest, we are going to see a rise in Blue Hybrid players. So we are also with obviously, because it goes hand in hand, we're going to see a rise in anti-blue decks.
yeah,
So
Kind of breaking down the
we're
deck.
going to see people playing Yellow Hybrid a lot more
Yeah.
more than they already were, because
Yeah.
Yellow Hybrid was already a deck that was highly sought after and highly played because of how efficient it is with just stalling the game out. But we are now going to see a rise in Yellow Hybrid players to combat the rise in Blue Hybrid players. So good luck to everyone else.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like that's like that. I'll say right now, like every format that we've had so far, it's always gonna be like the first 2 weeks are gonna be like everyone's experimenting and figuring out what's going on until one big event happens and pops off and showing what deck is actually really good and what people have been testing and sciencing. And it's gonna be like everyone's gonna follow the trend and the wave. And when that wave hits, you gotta figure out how to break it down again.
Yeah.
Back down. You gotta bring it down a peg, back down to earth by playing something that completely
super anti-meta.
super anti-meta, making it feel super uncomfortable for that player to play that game, and which is like so far the only thing I can think of is just yellow
and blue.
Yellow and blue.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, because like I can't think of anything else that could really go against it. Maybe red, but you have to be really high rolly.
It's
so fast.
High-rolly.
You have to be so high rolly.
It's ridiculously high
Yeah,
rolly.
most high rolly decks, if you can high roll, you're freaking pumping.
Yeah. High rolling, getting a bunch of tamers out because like they don't have any blockers, and once they're down on their security, they're just down. They don't have anything left.
Yeah.
So Aldemon is your best friend in that matchup.
Exactly. No ice wall.
Tommy
no
is
hammers
is your worst
But yeah,
enemy.
that's the worst part about this format, guys. If you're playing against blue, don't swing until you're ready. I'm gonna say right now, don't swing until you're ready. Because if you swing also as a red player and you're swinging with, let's say, Ancient Greymon, you swing and you hit a Tommy on the first or second check, you're done. Your checks are over.
Lose your
You're
checks
stunned. You're stopped in your
lose your
tracks.
tracks. Analog Youth doesn't go off.
Yep, you're already lost all your stuff under it. It's already over. At that
Same
point.
with Chakurdimon. Chakurdimon is like an insane like
Security check.
security effect against Ancient, against Blitz, Magna, like, a lot of things, because like once you've like it's gotten rid of, it's just gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You're losing all your checks. Ancient, you're losing the on deletion effect. The dude dies anyways. It's just such a tempo loss with your entire plays.
Yeah. So keep brainstorming, boys. Figure some stuff out. Science it out before these events because
Get the practicing in.
we have practice up for it.
Yeah, going to locals. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Or going on. I use I don't really use it. Carson and Jacob use
TCG player. Oh, not TCG.
Tabletop.
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 I say TCG player.
TCG player, no way.
Tabletop. Yeah.
A great way to get some practice in. Yeah, so we're gonna go into our local game store, Mox Valley Games. Hit them up. Hit us
Exactly.
up. See us there.
Yes.
Watch us lose and then
play.
have a good day.
And hear us talk about it. And then let's see what else we can see. Let's talk about Worlds. Worlds is happening right now, currently, as of the 27th.
First of all, I want to say Worlds prizing kind of dookie. I'm not a big fan of it.
Feels a little bad. I will say one cool thing.
I mean, going from nationals to
Worlds?
Worlds, they should be getting something that's just not like a trophy card that can't be even played in a deck.
I think that's the thing is, like, again, keep in mind, it's an experience for most of these players. It's our first Worlds. It's not going to be the craziest to see.
No.
Sadly, also is on a simulator, so it's not playing. Obviously, like, some people like the simulator, some people don't like the simulator. But if the simulator is not that great, no offense to Bandai, I'm sorry, boys.
It's terrible.
It's not as hot and really not that optimized for most players to really like play it. Because if you're just giving it right before the event and you didn't give them prior knowledge of how to use the simulator or practice on it, it's gonna be such a bad viewing experience as an audience,
or for to the player when
or
they're
the
playing it,
or the spectators.
So, for example, one of the blue hybrid players that was doing Gabubon was playing, And Jake was telling me this earlier. He was trying to raise his Gabumon, and he couldn't raise his Gabumon. He brought an Upamon out, had to bring it back. He brought a Gabumon out, had to bring it back. He brought an Upamon, it didn't gain the memory. The Soras and Joes weren't triggering. There's all kinds of stuff that's going wrong.
Yeah, because so far, from what I can tell, it's very like bare bone and it's very manual. So it reminds me, if you guys, for people that play Yu-Gi-Oh, it reminds me of Dueling Book. So it's super manual. Everything is just like just there, and you move it yourself, and it just doesn't really work that well.
It also reminds me a lot of MTGO, where like MTGO is very like. You have to do all of your effects. You have to choose when to like respond to triggers and stuff like that. The server definitely doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah,
it's very you have to figure stuff out.
Yeah, for sure. I will quickly go through like some of the rewards. So all participations will get an Alter S stamped version that has Worlds in 2021 on it. Just very similar to like the Evolution Tamer box from the first one with all those boys have the same stamp. It's exactly the same stamp. It just
says Worlds instead.
It just says Worlds instead for it.
Instead of Finals.
Yeah, instead of Finals. So World Championship 2021. Very similar stamp though. Then everyone also gets a 2021 Worlds Omnimon and Shoutmon DX playmat. Also has the same stamp on it, but it's the full art. If you guys are fucking into it, I would love it. If I can try to cop one of these, I would love to cop one of these. But there's no way.
Only 8 of
yeah,
them.
exactly.
There's
But
only 8 of
there's
them.
gonna be one dude that sells it, and I'm gonna buy it, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, if you get it,
there we go.
That will be the day.
That'll be the day. Third, second is the same reward as Nats, right?
As
The
second
trophy
and
rewards?
first for Nats.
No.
Yeah.
They're different.
No, they're the same type.
They're the same card.
They're the
Just
same card. They're the exact same card.
Different styles.
They're the
Different,
same
card,
card?
different style. Yeah, because this is the War Greymon.
They're done in a bronze and silver.
Yeah. It's a bronze silver to show the runner.
That is even worse than.
Yeah, so those are the same ones, just a different style. So it's a different framing. And the first place, instead of it was Agumon, it is Omnimon, but not the BT1 Omnimon.
Not the
that we think.
BT1 for
It's
once.
actually the Blitz Omnimon, which makes it so much better. But
good.
even then,
you still can't play it. It's
Still-
just a trophy.
it's still a trophy
It's
card.
just a
It's
trophy.
slightly bigger than most Digimon cards.
It is.
So
You can't put it in a deck. You can't even flex and put it in a deck,
Okay,
bro.
boys, in the comment section, let's be real here. Do you guys want to use trophy cards in your deck and play around with it constantly, or would you just frame it?
100%.
You're not. Okay. Put in the comments
100%.
yes or no. Do you put trophy and framed expensive cards like those
Biggest flex.
in your deck and play with it constantly?
Well,
'Cause Evan definitely is one of those players.
We can
I
raise
would.
with this question, Carson. We know that you own a copy of the Ghost Omnimon
Yes.
for BT5.
White Omni.
Would
White
you
Omnimon.
play with the white Omnimon?
No, never.
Well, that's the same idea, really. is
Exactly.
These
But
these cards are going to be just as highly sought after and just
Exactly.
as
Way
expensive.
way
would
more
you
than
would you
more.
want to play with a card that's worth a couple $1,000s?
Exactly.
More
But
than-
but now
Yeah.
I think this.
Maybe.
But for Evan, he wants
yeah,
to.
maybe.
If the card's double sleeved, I would play with it because
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
to
if,
sleeve
if it was
or
quadruple
not to
sleeve,
flex.
sure.
one sleeve, nah. 2 sleeves, you got my attention.
4 sleeves, yes for me.
4 sleeves,
I might as well put it in a
That's a
freaking
fat
the fattest
Gosh,
plastic deck
dude.
right there, dude.
put in like 3 top loaders.
Exactly.
that reminds me, Rudy, who is a MTG creator, content creator.
We love Rudy.
He has his alpha set deck
Oh yeah.
is in hard sleeves.
Of course. I mean, what are you gonna play him? You're gonna
Why wouldn't you,
double
bro?
sleeve him?
Yeah, no, it's not gonna work that way.
Poor decision.
And then let's see what else we can talk about. Let's talk about some stonks, boys.
We love our stonks.
Let's talk about some Digimon stonks here.
No, I'm not one for stonks because I just lose money. But
But I can talk about my stonks though,
yeah,
boys.
I just follow Carson's
Has there
stonks.
been any crazy stocks recently?
So let's talk about some of the anniversary stuff that recently been hitting really like really hard. A lot of the anniversary from BT6 box toppers, the anniversary have been being bought out, especially like the Upamon got bought out recently. There was actually no listings.
Oh,
of it.
anniversary box.
The anniversary box toppers for Upamon was bought out. There's literally no listings today
There's one
of the
listing,
27th.
$69. There was one listening for $69.
There was one list for $69. But then there was one sold for $41.69. But now the new low is not gonna be like the new standards could be $40.
$40 for these Upamons.
Exactly.
And the regular Upamons are going for like 12, 13. They just keep slowly climbing and climbing. Same with the Vmon anniversaries. They're going up. They're at 42 now. Soars and Joes they were like $5 for a minute. They are $3 now. Like all those like super like niche. Oh, they're not. They're just they have these super strong blanket effects that are not really hard for their colors to abuse. And you're seeing these cards just going up in price more and more. Same with like Matt Ishida because of the Troopamon deck.
Yes.
Yellow Troopamon deck.
Davis.
Davis.
Always going up because Davis is just the best memory setter in that
Yeah,
deck.
Davis just fluctuates. It goes through phases depending on like how the meta is, like how popular the color of blue is.
You know what's funny? I think Davis will consistently stay at that price or continue to go up
Until the reprint.
until we get the Davis reprint in the Jesmon and Ragnarlord starter decks.
Next year.
And next set, when we do get the Davis and Ken Tamer, that kind of does take the place of Davis in some of those decks.
No, they just add it in.
Some do.
I feel like they would run more Davis and Ken.
Yeah, they
over
would run more
Ken.
Davis and Ken.
They would definitely-
They still run the memory setter.
I think it'd be like 1 or 2 for sure.
Because you still get you get the draw too. You add both of them to your hand still.
Yeah.
So in your set getting memory setters, like you're getting all your pieces
Yeah.
and 3 memory.
And
Insane.
then for most of the other stuff, nothing. Phoenix Mon, not getting hit. Pog, not a stonk, boys. Do not grab that card. I'm saying right now. That's actually, if you get it, I'm so sorry. I apologize. The Phoenix Mon, the box topper, which is just the vanilla Phoenix Mon.
I am getting those Phoenix Mon, bro. I want my base set. They're 50 cents.
Do
Super
not
cheap.
do it, right?
Super cheap.
So-
Mega Gargo you could pick up because EX2 gets a Mega.
Yeah, it's like
gets
a 1 or
new
2 if you
Mega
can have.
Gargomon.
That's very neat. All the mods went up, obviously, because Red Hybrid. A lot of people want to flex on their new Red Hybrid versions, since it's just like the SR version. Just want to flex even harder. There's no alt art for it besides this one.
Yep.
Um,
Same with Chaos Mon, Valdararm. Super cool. Alternate art, but again, I don't think it's played in the green set because Shivamon is just like a better effect
Next one, yeah.
entirely.
Exactly. And the next thing was, for me, don't want to toot my own horn here, boys, but EX01 Metal Garurumon, kind of, in my mind, before I even thought of, like, I was thinking, like, what is the best Melga deck? Because, like, and later on, we're going to get, like, X antibody Melgas and all that jazz and having more variations with it. With how global is, and especially how NA is, they like some weird shit. They like some weird spice.
That's funky stuff.
Right, they have some funky stuff. So EX01 Melga, I think Metal Garurumon. I say Melga because it's Melga being metal and Garurumon. I don't know why I say Melga.
I mean, it's an abbreviation.
Yeah, it's
I feel,
abbreviation.
in a sense.
Yeah, it's an abbreviation of it.
But yeah, I mean, it's like it's an SR from collection set. They are super duper cheap. And
They're $1 pop right now. Huge.
Carson bought them. What, you 25 cents?
I bought them for like 55 cents a pop. I bought
There
a lot
we
of them,
go.
boys. I will not say the numbers. I will not disclose that information. My rights. But
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Recently, there was a video by who was it?
Card Protagonist.
Card Protagonist.
Our favorite Digimon.
Favorite
channel.
Digimon. Yo, shout out to them, boys. But they had a matchup where it's War Greymon X Antibody versus Metal Garurumon X Antibody, showing both EX of Blitz Greymon for Blitz War Greymon from EX01, and also the Melga from EX01, showing that you can gain literally 5 memory, which is Melga by Digivolving, which is
he
insane.
had 31 cards in hand because of the Garurumon that draws your card whenever you attack with a Digimon with Garurumon.
And also Cool Boy as a crazy 2 cost. Dude, when we get that card in this format, this game over, bro. We're drawing so many cards.
The BT9 format is like super light, just like it's all OTK, all fast, no control.
We're just going for game,
You're
boys.
killing them instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
But that's why for like Metal Garurumon, that's why I'm stalking so hard. That's why it's so great that thank you, card protagonist, for showcasing it.
Yeah.
The power of this deck, or of this card with that deck, because this is, in my opinion, this is the best Metal Garurumon that's out right now. In my opinion, there's no other better one than this one. It's the cheapest one you can do. So easy for blue to have 8 cards in hand. So easy. It's so free. You literally have more than 8.
Yeah. In that format especially, yeah.
And then also with the one attacking, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand and have a tamer in play, which in format we do, bounce one of your opponent's Digimon with an on deletion effect to the bottom of deck.
Yeah, you bought like a Digimon on deletion.
You could bot deck a Cherubi, which is insane. Why can you do that? Because this card just can. So
Zort defeat.
Zort defeat. Oh, that's true. Zort.
Funny one.
God, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait a second, yo, boys. I'm a little too smart. No. But this is the one I'm baking off the most though for myself.
For me, my stonk was the Agumon and the Lobamon. Agumon paid off. Lobamon
did not pay off.
The promos did.
The promo ones.
They went down actually. I was like very disheartened by that. But I'm also doing the Vmon, the collection set Vmon, because it's a staple in the Armor Purge, staple in the the Imperial Dramon decks.
In general, yeah.
Just
gain 1 memory when
you want to suspend.
Then when you untap. gain a memory.
I think the event packs, event pack 2s aren't, in my opinion, like worth going after right now.
Yeah, just wait.
Because just like event pack 1s, when they first came out, the Lord Nightmons, like what, $250, $170? They're like $60 now. You just gotta wait like a year, and if you want your alternate arts, you can get your alternate arts, and they'll just come back eventually. Because like I feel like there's no card. Maybe that's probably not right, but there's most of the pool of cards in Digimon aren't bad cards. They just aren't, because of how small the pool is. They're just like not being utilized yet. They're not being properly. They don't have a place in any decks yet.
No, for sure.
But like eventually cards will see play.
Exactly. So that's why you're seeing Sora and Joe's going up. That's why you're seeing the Kairis going up, the purple Kairis going up, the
And
Mimis
purple
going up.
minis.
Yeah,
And
a lot of
purple
these
minis.
rares, they were all like super bulky, and now they're all just slowly climbing right back up. You're seeing event pack 1, or not event pack 1s, but set 1 cards that are climbing up in value just overall, like
I believe
Carrier
Hammer
Mons.
Sparks were $7
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Hammer Sparks being $7 to $8.
The card that
again.
you got in the starter deck.
It's from the newest starter deck, too.
That one is the new
The
one. Is the
newest
expensive
one is the
one.
most expensive one, which is so
Mhm.
interesting. And then a lot of just like old stuff that you're gonna see are gonna be bought out. I found out just one thing that's really interesting with our card game, that our market is the one that gets the most fluctual. Also, I can also segue this to like another thing, the difference between the Japanese promotional stuff and also how we're treated with in comparison from global and Japanese. So if you guys didn't know, Japan is actually not able to participate in most of these events that we have, like Ultimate Cup and Evo Cup. Yeah, because reason being, they don't have those kind of events there, and also their format's completely different.
Yeah, they're like
So,
way ahead of us as well.
They're way ahead of us, so we're getting stuff that they're not even able to get. And most likely, when they do get it, it's going to be in a different way and also way
Yeah.
more inaccessible.
They're all like media promotions, or
Exactly.
something like that. They're not like actually in competing events or.
Which sucks because like it feels bad. Like sure, they're ahead in the format. Like what, the two, 3 sets ahead of us, or 2.5 sets ahead of us, right? And like in that span of time. But like they're not getting all these really cool things that we're getting, and also our format keeps changing because what's happening there. So our meta is completely different, and also we're getting more like, let's say example like the Guillaume, like remember that like the promo cards we had with the Guillemon, the Kudamon, like all that whole thing.
Yeah.
They didn't even get that during their time, or right now we got it like way like earlier.
Well, yeah,
right?
in our format, we got it earlier in our format. Like
yeah,
they're probably getting it in like set 9, set 10. We're getting it in set 6.
exactly.
Sort of a thing. And yeah, so like the ban list is different. The promos are different. Just the player ideologies are different. Like you
Exactly.
see different. They're not running any or really any Magna Gurumons. They're all running like Tommies and
Okay.
Kakamons and stuff like that. And while they were just super they're super efficient.
They're more efficient and consistent, and also they're more eccentric to what's happening in their current meta versus like for us, since most likely for Japan, they're still best of 1.
They are still best of 1. And it's also a best of 1 format while we're a best of 3.
Yeah, so they're always just gonna go for consistency, high rolling, and just like there's either having like some site control, which is the only really controlled deck that they have is just yellow hybrid, which Ophanimon, whatever they have. Versus for ours, it could be anything because like we have so much more options. It's also best of 3, so that's why like
And it
changes.
is something that I do know that Japanese players aren't very happy about.
No,
is
for sure.
that they definitely do get less. They get less promotional cards. They get less like attention to, or like I definitely feel like the global format does get a lot more attention put into it.
Yeah, a lot more treatment,
And,
better treatment for that one.
That is a shame.
Mm.
But I hope that is something that will change eventually.
Yeah, no, for sure. And let's see, we talked a little bit about our songs. Keep your eyes out for certain. I'll just say it now, if you're trying to bank on a card or trying to get some cards that you want to start collecting now, that are from previous events, do it now, because the best thing about Digimon is that they keep in mind, or Bandai keeps in mind what cards needed support, and they'll do it at some point. It's not like they're gonna forget it. They always do it. They're gonna find some weird support, even if it's 1 card, 2 card of. If it's just like that, like for example for BTA, they're not forgetting Metal Tyrannomon. They have 1 card for Metal Tyrannomon for next set. Master Tyrannomon. So like they still keep in mind, like even like one support for most people, they're like, God bless. One support is all we need, right? It's like a thing, like, so when you think of a card or a format, like let's say like I don't know, Eosmon. Eosmon also one card.
Yeah,
It's like whatever.
Diaboromon,
And Diaboromon could still have more because
Omnimon,
exactly
all
so
kinds of stuff.
it will always have a place in the Digimon, like the whole like sphere of it, and the game of it. So keep your eyes out for those type of cards because they will just eventually just go up in time.
I do want to say we are not financial advisors, so don't take anything as financial advice.
Take everything we say with a grain of salt.
With a grain
we
of
don't-
salt.
dude. We lose money all the time, so
Yeah.
that's just our thoughts on it.
Yeah, exactly. And
But it is definitely like most of the decks are based off of like one boss monster Digimon or
Yeah.
a boss monster lineup.
yeah,
So like how like Shoutmon isn't just Shoutmon, it's the entire lineup.
yes, that makes it Shoutmon.
So like as we continue through this card game, Bandai doesn't have to print like a set dedicated to one card. They can simply just print another lineup of that card or print a card that boosts the current lineup.
Yeah.
Exactly.
to
Or
help
a
see
starter
that
deck
card
like
make
Jesmon
play.
and Ragnarlarmon, and my God, those are insane.
Those decks are crazy, bro. They shouldn't be called starter decks anymore, bro. They need to change that wording right now.
No, yeah.
Those are structure decks now,
Those
bro.
are straight up competitive, structure
Primed,
decks.
ready, competitive decks because
They're
those
good to
those
go.
effects are insane and make it so much more enjoyable for it. Because like, let's say for example, right in Lordmon, it was the concept cool. Doing it so fucking hard, unbelievably hard to actually pull off. Going to 2 different 6s. Or like going to a 6, then Digivolving for it to put something under it, just for the potential of it getting blown up. Because at that format when Ragnarok came out, what was it? It was sharing Shine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shine just pops it. Bye,
Instantly.
bye, bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I just popped you
Bye-bye.
because like there was no DP reduction in like until like EX, which was what Machine Dramon was the only one that has DP reduction. Like
It can't be
negation.
yeah.
Can't be decreased. That was like the only card that really has it. And now like most cards like X Antibody like has that too, like the level 5.
All the X antibodies have it.
Yeah,
Or
level
the-
5 has it, does it for you.
Yes, there's now a second one.
Yeah.
I think that's all we're gonna have to talk about today, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to talk about. We talked about the event. We talked about some of the decks and formats and what you guys should keep out of, and what cards to look out for.
I would just say keep an eye out. Best thing to to take away from this is keep an eye out for event registrations. If you guys are interested in doing online events, they're honestly not a big deal. For most of my events, I just like got a reading lamp, and I electric taped my phone to it as my camera, and I would retape it between every round. Also, if you are like not like super. You think that the rounds are going to take super long. I've always brought aggro decks, and I'm done. 15, 20 minutes, I win or I lose, and I'm just like waiting for the rest of the 40 minutes. But I'm bringing blue or red, so probably going to be bringing red, honestly, at this point, just because sideboards, I think, might be super helpful for it. But we'll see. I want to do some more playing around with it. But aggro decks, unless you're totally fine with just
Playing
sitting
for
down
time.
for like 8 rounds straight.
It's all about
I would
mental.
bring aggro decks just for your own sanity.
Yeah, all mental because like it's gonna get real tiring and you're gonna start misplaying if you play a hard deck. Like I don't know, unless you're Giga Chad and have the 500 IQ brain playing Lilithmon and can just keep remembering these lines repeatedly, then just freaking go for it.
Go
But
for
if
it.
you want to have time to just like chill and unwind for a second and get ready for the next
But
round,
not enough time that you nap and miss your next round.
yeah. Wait,
We both did that.
that was me.
That was also me.
That was you too.
I did that as well.
Yeah.
I lost the first round or the first match, and then I played them, and then I lost, and then I was like, all right, sweet, I guess.
And then he passed out. And for me, I played up to 3 rounds, and it was coming up to my 4th round. During my 3rd round, while waiting, I had 30 or 40 minutes, right? I'm like, I could take a quick, I'll lay in my bed
Don't nap.
waiting, and I passed out.
Don't nap.
Woke up 10 minutes after the 4th round, and I'm like, shit. Now I don't know if I'm gonna get my participation now. Am I gonna get it? And I still got it.
Yeah.
God bless.
They're
God bless.
super friendly with that. They most of the time they don't like. You don't have to actually stay for the entire event for to get pricing. At least that's what it was for nationals because you had to earn your entry.
Yes, yeah.
But for regionals, they're less lenient. I would. You gotta play 3 rounds. I think what is it? What
It's like 3 to 4 rounds.
3 rounds
minimum.
participation, and then everybody drops, and that's what goes from like
It goes from
500
500,
people
yeah.
to like 150.
Exactly.
And you're like, I made top 128, baby. I still
I'm
get 2 more
close,
wins.
baby. I'm getting close. But I will say one thing that does suck. Let's say you do lose, and the person that you played drops, then your win percentage goes down. That's the worst. That's
super brutal.
I'll say that about online events. That's the hardest part. So
Yeah.
you better hope or you better just win your first two rounds.
First 3 rounds.
First 2 or 3 rounds, and if you get your 4th loss, whatever. Okay, at least you're 3-1, and just finish the last 3 to 4 rounds you got, and just finish strong.
I haven't like performed super well in events and like super well in events. I don't think I've ever gotten. I've gotten in like top.
We got top 34.
I've gotten top 32 in an event, but I don't know. It's not a super great resume. It's an okay resume. But like play it out. Even if you are like 3 losses, you just play it out. I think at the point, because you will get top 128, you'll get that prizing as long as you don't drop, because people are dropping constantly behind you, and you're just gonna keep going up in the ranks as you go on. So just keep playing out for the rest of the match, unless you're like, I would say 5 to 4 losses, like 4 depending on like
You're pushing
how early you lost.
If there's no undefeated by the 7th round, then push for it.
Mm-hmm. But 5 you can drop. I feel at that point it's like you're probably not gonna get top 128, but I see a lot of people drop at like 3 losses, and I'm like almost top like 30 or 64, 32.
Yeah.
With three losses.
Yeah.
I actually went top 32 with 3 losses in one of these events because everybody's dropping, and I just got a decent enough win percentage to get there.
Stuck right through, baby.
So just stick it through. Play those aggro decks so you can get some time to rest, get some food, maybe take a little nappy. And yeah, I mean, just overall have fun. You know, don't take it too personally.
Yeah, most people just take it too seriously because of the event, but either way, everyone's playing the game because they're enjoying the game and playing it. It's not like I'm here to destroy and kill their whole family kind of deal. Yeah, I'm here to just like swing some Digimon and just play games and chill.
Yeah. Or learn, if anything, if you really want to be super competitive about it, just learn from your mistakes. Don't get angry about it. You know, just think about it more internally, not externally at your opponent.
That's why I'm saying for Digi-fest, watching all these like high level players playing top 16 and seeing what they can do. Like I'm still learning things and like options that you could play to this day, still playing the game. I'm like, dang, I could be doing that. Like I could be adding these things because it's so insane. Because like no one would think about it. You think out of the box. So it's always fun to go through these events and seeing different decks and grab a thing or two and maybe add it to your own deck and put in your own core.
For sure.
But I think that's pretty much it. We'll end the podcast early. Sub 1 hour.
There we go. First sub 1 hour.
Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate you sitting through it. Hanging out with us. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about, or for our gameplay videos, which we've been posting recently, anything you want us to play, please post it in the comments. We love hearing different perspectives, feedback. We're always looking to grow. And then leave a like, subscribe. We like the feedback. We like to see our channel grow. Hopefully you guys can join us for that growth.
Yeah, stick around. So this is the BanchoBoys signing off, and we'll see you guys next time on Mon-Talk.
See ya.
Bye.